I'd like to share with you my reality of existence and how I comprehend consciousness and the pathways to awareness that I've discovered by spending the last 20 years learning how to articulate the realm of existence I perceive in my life. I encourage you to form your own free will choice. My point of view doesn't take away from yours, it just adds to the conversation. From my perception, the absolute, all that ever is and ever was, that plane of existence, it's done. It is all that ever is and ever was. So for the absolute to experience life, the source of all creation was created. And working together, the absolute and the source of all creation extended out different forms of life over various densities and dimensional realms for the absolute to experience life. This way, the realm of all that ever is and ever was can gain perspective and grow. I like to think of it as the absolute as the sight, the expression in the moment, every moment. The source of all creation is the heart, and quantum entanglement is the brain work of the absolute. Now, even from this lower density plane, I can comprehend the concept. But to embody the full aspect of the absolute, the source of all creation, or quantum entanglement would make this dense body explode. Everything is a fragment or a smaller fractal. So from the space of the absolute, you can access different fractals in different densities and dimensions. We have a torus grid around us. So imagine this being a body and an apple, like the shape of an apple and all the lines around an apple. So our heart, mind, soul, the vibrations add layers on to the torus grid. So like with our sight, there's like a layer that's added on. Our mind, there's like a layer that's added on. And every single one of our chakras send out a vibration. So there's only like 6 layers deep on this because the paper would get way too messy. But there's 12 chakras altogether within our torus grid. And so when you incorporate voice and your heart, there's more vibrations that add to it. And so when looking at the torus grid from internally, externally out, it looks like there's all these different vibrational density spaces from your base density space out. And this is just like 6 layers deep, and this is just from the mind, right? So incorporate, this is just sight chakra, mind chakra. Now imagine all the rest of the chakras going along with these density lines, and that's what's vibrationally we're creating all the time. So beyond the torus grid, moving through the density planes of existence. Okay, so once you have aligned your torus grid and you have the grid activated around you, beyond that, between your density plane and the absolute, all that ever is and ever was, there's all these different density levels and planes of existence. And so the planes of existence above and below the vibrational frequency you are a match to. And we're here to life for the absolute. So if you believe the absolute will gain perspective and grow, there isn't a right or wrong direction based off of what you want your experience to be. So, and from my experience, the lower you go, the denser and more chaotic it is. And the higher you go within the density and dimensional spaces, you feel real euphoria, freedom, and deep love. So for me, it's an easy choice of the realms I choose to visit. And so it's, you make a conscious choice for yourself. You just actually choose where you want to go and how to do this. So you start with your baseline frequency, where you're at, your frequency, and then feel the frequency of all that ever is and ever was, the absolute. Now ask the source of all creation to guide you through the density dimensional realms in between the two. So, and again, This is just my perception. I have no idea if this actually would resonate with anybody, but here we go. So imagine this being like a torus grid, and of course there isn't all the different layers out and around, it's just flat. Now above the torus grid there are density, actual planes of existence. I don't know how high it goes, and I don't know why I wrote 27 planes of existence in between a dimensional space, but that's what I did. And I wrote out 4 different dimensional spaces and all these density planes in between the dimensional space. And I don't have the torus grid around here. It'll just get too chaotic. So now I'm talking literal planes of existence, other worlds. So think of our human suit as a time traveling suit, but we've created so much internal resistance that it's inhibited us from accessing the flow, so the mind can even be calm enough to comprehend how to do this. So this is kind of a start of how I do it. There's a video on my wall that's pinned. That is the pathway to the heart, soul, mind, heart, soul activation to be able to really dive into this space. If this resonated with you at all, please like and share it.